Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, a member of the House Judiciary, Transportation, and Infrastructure Committees. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. What kind of aid do you want to see worked on this week? You all have already passed aid to Israel. As you just heard the Speaker say, it's sitting on Chuck Schumer's desk. But now we're also understanding that any aid is tied to aid to Ukraine. Do you want to see that in the form of a loan like President Trump has laid out?
Well, of course I would want to see it in the form of a loan, but not only that, I want to know what the path to victory is. You know, this president, Biden, has said no matter how much money it takes, no matter how long it takes. I don't agree with that. Europe needs to stand up more. Poland has done its work, but there are other countries that need to stand up more. We need to know what the path to victory is. We need it to be in the form of a loan. I would want an audit. I would want the Pentagon to do an audit to know where all this money has gone, the over $120 billion that we've given people already. You know, we should be worried about Ukraine's borders, but damn it, we got to be worried about the borders in the United States of America, about the decay of our cities, about our inflation, about the record low numbers of people actually enlisting in all the branches of our military. We've got real issues in America. So before we do this, I want to make sure that we do it the right way. And Maria, most importantly, it is wrong and it is against everything we have stood for as Republicans to jam these bills together. We were supposed to get rid of omnibus bills, minibus bills, and putting bills together that don't belong together. A clean bill for aid to Israel. I support that. I absolutely support it. A clean bill to aid to Ukraine. I've got to see how we go about it. If you jam them together, Maria, imagine the position somebody like me is in. If that's a bad bill that comes forward for the aid to Ukraine, I've either got to vote for a bad bill because it's jammed together with Israel, or I've got to vote against a good bill for aid to Israel. It's unfair. It's wrong. It's not what we should be doing.
So why doesn't Speaker Johnson just tell Chuck Schumer, you already have the aid to Israel. We passed it in the House. It's sitting on your desk. That's what we want to do now, given that Israel is just attacked. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul was with me yesterday. He slammed Johnson for working with the Democrats, he said, to approve more government spending. Senator Paul also called out the Speaker for voting with Democrats on FISA. Watch this. Can we trust government to use FISA appropriately and legally?
Absolutely not. Americans shouldn't be spied on by their own government. Speaker Johnson was incredibly wrong. He broke the tie. He voted with the Democrats. We also have Speaker Johnson voting for the spending package, once again, with the majority of the Democrats. As I see it now, I'm not sure there's a difference between Mike Johnson being in charge and the Democrats being in charge. The deficit this year will be $1.5 to $2 trillion, and that's Mike Johnson's bill.
Congressman, what about that?
Let me say this. Speaker Johnson, we have to support him now. We cannot vacate that position. We have to concentrate on one thing. I'm all about winning. If we get a majority in the Senate, a stronger and more robust majority in the House, and the president in place, President Trump, we can do amazing things. However, I do agree with what the senator is saying. What he is saying is absolutely right. FISA, I was disturbed. I don't know how else to say it. I have stronger words. Let me be clear. Ben Franklin, all those hundreds of years ago, said, those that would give up liberty for the sake of security deserve neither. Nothing has changed. There was so much incorrect that was being put out there. It would have only been 1.58% of cases that would have required a warrant. And in those cases, it was right. And I'll give you this, because I know we don't have time to go all through it. If it was so good, if it was so safe, why would we basically exempt Congress from it? Congress has a different set of rules than everybody else in America. It's wrong, and we shouldn't have done it.
You would think that, you know, you want a warrant to be able to spy on American citizens, and you don't want American citizens' phone calls getting swept up with surveillance of potential enemies, foreign born. So,
Maria, I sit on Judiciary, and if you sat there with me and saw what was going on, you would be so disgusted.
Wow. What do you mean?
the things that you hear and see on judiciary, when you see literally since the last time we renewed FISA to now, when they promised us that there would be no abuse, that everything would be okay, millions of cases of abuse, agents looking up their girlfriends and boyfriends, husbands looking up wives, looking up people who were too conservative, people that were too progressive, people that were libertarians, people with whom you just disagreed in general,
Wow.
having nothing to do with national security. There is nothing to stop that from happening now. What happened last week was wrong. Again, I support the Speaker, but I do not support this.
That's disgusting, okay? So in other words, they're using a tool that is supposed to be a tool used to find and apprehend terrorists to spy on their husbands and wives to see if they're cheating. That is absolutely disgusting, Congressman. Thank you. We will keep following this very closely, sir.
Absolutely true.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Jeff Van Drew this morning joining me in New Jersey.